competing like 15 weeks in a row. I wasn't sure about anything. So now there's like the little things I'm not as nervous about. I'm just super excited and I can just be confident. Like I don't have to be like, oh, what if this happens or what if that happens? Now it's just I know how to do this and I'm just gonna go along for the ride.
MJ Frazier has been exceptional her entire career, a U.S. national team member since 2019, three-time U.S. championship competitor. She has competed all over the world, Japan, Italy, and Germany. But coming to college, and we've talked about it many times, it's a different kind of pressure because you're not just taking care of yourself, your coach, your family. You have all these teammates, and now you're on a campus, you're representing a school. It's a different animal.
Yeah, the pressure of the collective, the pressure of your score matters so much for the team is a lot. And as a freshman, you just don't know not only how they will handle that piece of it, but like you said, how they're going to handle being a college athlete. For her, being truly on the other coast from her family, you know, her sister's down the road in LA on the UCLA team, so she's seen it. But I just think the way she has mentally handled this is a true credit to her toughness and also the coaching from Justin and Liz. They're such good technical coaches that we've seen a lot of improvements in her gymnastics, which you think an international elite, you know, she's gonna have so many skills, she'll have it all figured out, but she has really improved in just 1 year. I can't wait to watch as her career continues to develop.
I'm glad you brought up her sister Marzetta, who's now in her 6th season at UCLA and a Pac-12 champion in her own right. She had to have helped her, but people can talk to you all you want, but you need to experience it to really understand it. By the way, there was a score update. Andy Lee in the 8-5. The judges now have upgraded that to 9. I don't know if the Howells went over and checked something and made sure she got full credit. Usually that's what happens is the coach goes to the judges and says, hey, did you get the extra credit here? Did you give her the bonus?
Yeah, there's no one better to do that than Liz Crandall.
Yeah, because she's a judge.
A brevet level judge.
That's
that
right.
means, you know, that would be like she can judge the Olympics. It's like a Super Bowl caliber referee you could compare it to. I bet it was about that leg up double turn. That is something that you do not see in college gymnastics because it is so difficult, and I love that they don't shy away from those difficult skills on this Cal team.
So that ended up giving them a 49.425 for the rotation, which is short of their high but well above their average. And then for the meet now, California, a 148.3. So it certainly brings in a 197, well, 197.5's in play, 197.6. Yeah, that's a lot to ask, a 49.7 on beam.
If they put it together, if they each do the best they can, a 49.7 is within Cal's realm, absolutely. But I said, the scoring in Seattle can be a little tight, so we'll see how the beam judges are feeling.
Their best on beam this year is a 49.3. Now, they improved a great deal from week 1 where they went 49 on beam to 49.3, but now to ask them jump to that on the road,
right?
That's a tall order. Here's the lineup for California on the beam. Seniors at the top and the bottom, 3 juniors and a sophomore in the middle, but I don't know if you can really consider MJ Frazier a true sophomore. And Lausanne right in there as well, #1 all-arounder in the country. It's a big lineup, and these are names now that are going to become household in collegiate gymnastics. You know, 2 years ago, not a lot of people knew who Maya Lausanne was. They do now.
Yeah, and you know, part of that is I'm going to call it the West Coast bias.
Yep.
These, you know, the gym world should be on notice about Cal. They were leading the NCAA first round last year after 2 rotations, and I'm glad to see their ranking matches how fantastic their gymnastics is thus far.
Andy Lee, the leadoff for California on beam.
Moves right into her series, front aerial, back layout, step out. Nicely done. Same as you'll see from MJ Frazier. She's the 2023 conference champion on beam. on the back leg on those leaps. I want to see it snap up to 180 or past it. But love that dismount. Gainer full off the end. So challenging. I mean, just thinking the physics of running forward, flipping backwards, turning around. It's truly exquisite.
She was remarkable on that event last year. Not necessarily because of her scores, but all of her scores. All 15 were 9.8 or better on beam last year.
Yep, so consistent. And it's not like she's doing, you know, easy skills. She's doing very difficult moves exceptionally well because their execution and their basics are so good.
Emily Pyers on the floor, leadoff spot for Washington, and only one senior in this lineup, Skylar Killer-Wilhelm, in the 5 spot.
She's a transfer from UC Davis, entered the portal last year. Jen Llewellyn said after one of their incoming freshmen, Kira Bolden, tore her ACL at Junior Nationals. They needed someone for the leg events, and they've been really happy with Emily's ability to step in and deliver in 3 meets thus far.
A second team all-conference last year when she was at UC Davis. 6 times. She went 9.8 or better on this event for the Aggies.
Double back pass here. Nice and clean. Got to keep that front foot down. She's also depth for them in the vault lineup.
She says before meets, she writes herself a note and texts her parents. Love that.
Very clean. Not a lot to deduct from there. Just a solid, reliable leadoff.
For Andy Lee in the leadoff, Maddie Williams. Williams went 9.95 on bars, 9.875 on the vault, 9.85 on floor.
Excellent double wolf turn there. We saw that in her floor routine as well.
At a 9.85 on this event at Las Vegas. Last year was 9.9 or better more than half the time she was on beam.
She had a weird error on her dismount last week that we've not seen before. Look to clean that up today. Very nice layout. You can see she was not going to wobble on that. Threw her hands down. Show the judges she is not wobbling. Some gymnasts, when they smile on beam, look a little unnatural.
A little forced?
Yeah, a little forced. She truly looks like she's enjoying it up there. This is that dismount that she struggled a little bit with. She'll go back handspring into a gainer layout full. And it wasn't the highest, but she definitely stuck. There will be a deduction for her dropping the chest forward and doing that deep squat. But a great job from Maddie Williams. One of the 4 all-arounders tonight.
Washington needed a 49.4 to equal its season high in this final rotation. Myers got a 9.8. I see that correctly.
That's right.
Emily Ennis. Once again, we saw Ennis early in the meet on the ball with a 9.775.
We saw her really enjoying herself on beam. You'll see that here on floor as well. Matched with some big tumbling, front double full. Great height.
Am I remembering Annis had surf music last year?
Yep.
Yeah. Change it up this year.
Change it up. Jeffrey Langenstein does their choreography.
She was terrific on floor a season ago, 10 times, 9.8 plus. Both times, well, at least once this year at Iowa, 9.825.
Yeah, Jeffrey was a Cal gymnast who excelled on floor. He does their floor and vault coaching and their choreography.
And of course, all three of the UW coaches with ties to Lindenwood, right?
Yep. Program that set a new career high last night, but is in peril of being shut down.
Jeffrey in the background there.
Excellent.
Yeah, she liked it too.
Float on that.
Feeling it now.
One more pass of Rudy to close. 1.5 twist. That is a place she's made a ton of improvement, is the height and the command of her tumbling. She's stoked, as she should be.
Kid who went to the same gym in Pittsburgh for 16 years.
Here's this Rudy. It's a front layout with 1.5 twists, and her chest was so high when she landed. I like that she did a good job controlling that, you know, threw the head back a little bit, but looked like she may have bobbled, but good control.
9.875 for Maddie Williams, Ella Cesario.
In a dual meet like this, gymnasts get to choose the music that's going on balance beam, and so it's always a really sharp contrast between the upbeat floor and then this, you know, very moody Taylor Swift for Ella Cesario.
You don't hear much Taylor Swift these days, do you?
Have you watched Utah yet? Come on.
It was predictable.
Go back handspring layout here. This leap series she does here, a switch to a switch half. So important to hit 180, arguably much more difficult than her leaps or her flight series you just saw, and doesn't quite hit 180, nor does she finish the half turn there. So we'll see what the judges do. Slight bobble. And she's right at the end of the beam for her 1.5 dismount. Nice and high. Just a tiny hop forward. I like how she spotted the end of the beam after that fold to nail in that half twist, but just the tiniest of hops. She's a new member of the Coaches Council for Cal, their leadership group.
9.925 for Emily Ennis. Well, that ties a career high for her. That is a good score.
Actually in the second spot.
Kristen Lynn.
And she is just a freshman, but her performance quality and dance is really exceptional.
Twice JO Nationals on this event. She finished in the top 10, along with a couple other events. Almost all the events, so she's good across the board.
Excellent, Rudy. Her tumbling is not as difficult, but has great leaps and extension. Does a nice job completing those turns.
Having a quick chat with Cody Llewellyn, the assistant coach for Washington, before the meet about the 5 freshmen on this roster. We both talked about, hey, sometimes freshmen pop early, and they're going to need that this year. Got to be patient, got to encourage. This is one of the gymnasts that they think could be better quickly.
Yep. She'll do a 1.5 front layout here. Beautifully done. She consistently completed a triple full in club. Hope to see that later this season. They're just slowly ramping her up to build the confidence. Ooh, a little bit off kilter on that second leap.
Yeah, she just had to finish that off. That's got to be the best score she's posted since she arrived.
Yeah, really great performance quality there. Just needs to get the tumbling up to the level to get those really, really high scores, which we know she can do. I can't wait to see a triple full in this lineup.
9.825 for Cesario. Here's MJ Frazier. Last time she touched a beam, she got a 10.
She's a great combination of beautiful dance work, just like that full turn made it look beautiful, with her tumbling skills. Right here, the front aerial to the back layout, step out. Does a nice job making a correction between the two.
There are certain gymnasts, when they're on the beam, you look at their face and it's almost like they're saying, let's do this. There's no intimidation, there's no fear, there's no anxiety.
She's intimidating the beam, if anything.
Right.
That ring jump she did, so difficult and exceptionally executed, and already done with this routine, and fantastic.
It's going to be her best score of the day.
I actually think it was better than last week's.
Wow.
Because there were just a few errors last week, or minor tiny adjustments that the judges didn't catch, but that's a 10 to me if last week was a 10.
Well, you've said it a couple of times, scoring in Seattle is notoriously light.
Right.
She hasn't even reached a 9.9 score yet today on any of her 3 events. So it almost feels like they're pulling the reins in on her, but they couldn't stop her on beam. That's got to be well over 9.9.
Yeah, that was exceptional.
John Carney right there with a big hug.
Yeah, John Carney coached Jen Llewellyn in club and in college.
He told me that, Eastside Gymnastics over at Bellevue.
Yeah,
he told me before the meet. That's awesome. 9.825 for Lynn. Lana Navarro.
You'll recognize this routine from last year. Super fun. She has a new one that she may debut sometime this season. Good control on the double tuck. Those leaps, she sort of cheated that full twisting straddle jump a bit. It's her 1.5, and that was supposed to be a front layout. Did a good job landing on her feet, but we'll get a deduction for those bent knees. She saves her hardest tumbling pass for last. She'll do a double pike, tumbling right into Coach Jeffrey Langenstein in the corner. Excellent landing.
Wow, at the end of her routine,
Yep. Really well done.
you're dealing with fatigue and focus.
Yeah, I gotta say, this Husky team, their stamina and strength at this point in the season far exceeds previous years' roster. They look great. The potential is so high for them.
9.925 for MJ Frazier. So right now the low score, Cesario's 9.825. And really all Cal needs is Lazan or Gabby Perea in the anchor spot to hit. They will have their second best score of the year.
Ugh, I just love that. Tick-tock to hold. She's not getting any exceptional value for that, but it just shows off such beautiful power, control, flexibility. I dare anyone to try that at home. Or the wolf turn. Pulled so hard. So 3 pass series here. It's the teeniest of balance checks. She was the first Cal Bear to ever score 10 in this event. Also the first to win the conference title last season. I jinxed her when I said she had never fallen in her Cal career.
No, that was good in the open. I like that, yeah.
Here she goes. I know she'll find this landing, and then it'll be another 4 for her. Just...
There it is. Yeah, you're off the hook.
What a face mine. Beautiful double twist.
And look at Liz Crandall Howell saying, come on, get up. I know you're not rooting for us, but that was pretty good gymnastics.
Yeah, that was exceptional. The height on that double twist and the time that gives her to find the landing is truly exceptional.
Shared that Pac-12 beam title last year with the great Jade Carey, so just to give you a barometer of how good it was. Skylar Wilhelm coming off her best performance of the day, the 9.925, tying a career high anchor spot on beam in the last rotation, finishes her program on the floor.
Really dramatic, fun new floor routine for her.
All 12 of her scores last year on floor were 9.8 or better. Her first 2 scores this year, both 9.8 or better.
Love that consistency. Starts with a front double. Nicely done. A little bit flat. I want to see more rise from that. Gorgeous extension on that ring. She does a lot of work on releve in this routine. Really controlled dance. 1.5, front layout, so clean. Love that finish.
Skylar's scores have gotten progressively better each rotation, and that might be her top number today.
Yeah, she's really come into her own and embraced the senior role she has, being a leader and just honing in on the tiny details.
Lazan's score is a 9.925. That's not the story. The story is the judges wildly different. One judge, a 10. The other judge, a 9.85. I've never seen that spread.
Yeah, I need the receipts on that because I'm just truly interested in where they found that. And I don't want to take away from Gabby Perea here, who is such a phenomenal beam competitor right here. Front toss, back tuck. Excellent. She's ranked 8th on beam.
Finished 3rd on beam at the Pac-12 Championships a season ago. And that was her first year in the balance beam lineup full-time with 9.9 or better 9 times last year.
And she does a dismount that you will not, I've never ever seen in gymnastics, not just college, but in all of gymnastics. Good save there. Her left foot was so far off the edge of that beam, but you could not tell at all. She really maintained her shoulder position and her arms correctly. But right here, she's going to do a side summy and then dismount sideways off the beam. 1.5 twist.
I love it. That's
that
great.
Is virtuosity. You've never seen that in gymnastics. Unfortunately, has to take a couple little hops.
Yeah.
But it is so special and difficult. She's got to land that side summy and basically from a stand
and then reload.
Do a back with 1.5 twists. Awesome. Awesome job.
Yeah, be original. Love it every time. Skylar Wilhelm goes a 9.9. Beautiful work by her. Last two scores, 9-9 or better for her. She's going to have a pretty good all-around after a slow start. And here is the final floor competitor for Washington. It is 2-win from Wildfire Gymnastics down in Orange County. Broke into the floor lineup last year, and then had a bit of an injury, sidelined, and now is back in.
And she has so much power for two. It's about staying in bounds and harnessing that. She does it well, actually a little bit low on that first one, but she does a huge double tuck and double pike in this routine.
First one of the year for her?
First one of the year for her, yeah. The Huskies have a ton of depth on floor for the first time in a bit. There's her double tuck, and you can see she slid out and hopped a bit.
Yeah, a little recoil.
Yep.
Had a bunch of 9/8s last year. She jumped into the lineup in late January.
Nice ring position. Your first floor routine of the year is always so hard going into this last pass. In the corner, rooting her on for this double pike, and just the steps forward. Yep.
I love the optimism of her parents to name her 2-win. That is that's the goal, isn't it?
That
to win.
Fantastic.
Korea went 9-8-7-5 to close out the Cal Beam. We'll do all the numbers for you when we come back. California just put up its second best score of the year. Hey there, Elliott Bay in the background, West Seattle, Alki Beach, and just to your left, Salties. One of the best places to get a great view of downtown in Seattle. Final scores are in. California finishing on the beam with a 49-5. That's a big score for them. And a 197-8. So it could be a top 10 all-time score off the heels of the 7th best score in school history. It boasts and under its scores what we said at the top, that California is the team to beat in the Pac-12 this year.
Absolutely.
Maya Lozon, #1 in the country in the all-around, ends up with a 39.725, just below her all-time best, which she set last week.
Right, and they've been away the last 3 weeks. Just imagine what they can do at home in Haas. They keep building. They have just the tiniest of mistakes that they can keep fixing, but the country should be on notice that this Cal team is legit and to be contended with.
And California at home, their home opener next week against Oregon State, and the Gymnast of the Year of the conference, Jade Carey. You can see that one on the network at 2 o'clock. And then I think I'm at Poly Pavilion for the Washington UCLA meet at 6 o'clock. On the network. UCLA is ranked 11th right now. Washington taking on ranked teams every time out. It'll make them better today. Washington goes 49-2 in that final rotation. 9-6-7-5. The total for Washington, 196.050. So that's what they need. Take that first step, get into the 196s, and start dialing in at 197.
Yep. Those Cal Bears, I expect them to break that 198 mark very soon. They've got to put in all 4 events together, and I can't wait for them to do it.
That'll do it for us. For Alan Brum, your producer, Ross Miller, your director, Lisa Mao, my partner, I'm Jim Watson, saying so long from Alaska Airlines Arena on campus at UW, where they're celebrating 50 years of collegiate women's gymnastics. California, 197.8, #2 team in the country.